Good afternoon, hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Welcome to what I'm hoping, Matt, is going to be a how-to video, but as we've just discussed, it might be a how not to, but we'll play it by ear.
Blind leading the blind.
Exactly, and the title will perhaps change at some point during this video. This video is all about waxed chains, more specifically waxing a chain. Now, you guys will know that I'm supported by Nick at NRG Chains, so he supplies me with wax chains and re-waxes them for me all the time, which is brilliant. But I know that people who have talked to me about the product love it, but it is a bit of a faff having to post them back to somebody to re-wax. So some people like to buy a chain, perhaps have it waxed the first time, and then re-wax it. Well, you're in luck. Nick has started selling the NRG chain wax. I'll leave a link to that down below. So his special blend that he's researched for years and developed over a lot of time, you can just buy it in a block and use it. You haven't got to go to any of the stress of that, and it's very competitively priced versus competitors. Now, what we thought we'd do is use a chain and sort of talk you through the process. So this is, for those that have been around for a while, the chain that Lee used at the National 24 TT. So it's got about 400, what was his mileage? 470, something like that, yeah. So it's got that many miles on it, and it hasn't turned since that day, as Lee will admit to. And I think we can have a quick look at it first. So you can see it's a little bit grimy, but it doesn't really look too bad. But we know the miles it's been through. We know how much he sweated and snotted all over everything. So it's probably due for a re-wax. So that's what we're going to do. The first step, however, though, the most important part is probably the cleaning process. Now, if you look around on different websites, there'll be different guidance for how to clean it. Of course, we're listening to Nick as well as other people about how to clean a chain. You're bound by what equipment you've got. So Matt has, I refer to him as the chain waxing expert. He has done one chain, so...
Yeah, I've never actually done this cleaning bit either.
Oh, okay,
It's
all
a
right.
new chain.
Just that confidence.
Yeah,
fine.
all right, yeah.
Okay, so Matt, how are we going to clean this chain up, or attempt to clean this chain up?
So I reckon if we start with some boiling water, so this wax is going to melt basically, that's what I'm thinking. So I've got this little thing that I used before for waxing, just a bit of bent coat hanger. So I reckon thread it onto the coat hanger and then dunk it in the boiling water, swish it about, get all the wax nice and soft.
Yeah.
And then I reckon that'll start pulling the wax off. And then after that, a good rinse, then an ultrasonic bath.
Yeah. So an ultrasonic bath, I don't understand exactly how it works, but it like goes, you know,
it's like, really loud.
Yeah.
And there's some tiny bubbles in there.
Okay.
Scour it basically.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Basically, it lifts all the muck and dirt out of the chain. So how many times do you do that? Do you leave it running for a few minutes?
I think. Yeah, it's like 6 minutes. I've been doing it with my other chains. Okay. And then turn it over another 6 minutes, and then you probably need to put some fresh fluid in there.
Yeah. So is it degrease that goes in there?
No, just do it with soapy water.
Okay.
Yeah, you can use it with. You can get different chemicals put in there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do it with the least toxic substances. You know, if you can do it, it's just dishwater basically. Do it. Yeah. Dish soap, then all the better. And that seems to have worked quite well so far. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Probably a few baths through that just till it's clean basically, till I can wipe it on a rag and there's no oil.
Okay. So in terms of like availability, I'm sure everybody's got a Pyrex jar in the kitchen they can steal. How much do ultrasonic cleaners retail for? Matt's or the half, turn off now.
Yeah, I think that this one wasn't very expensive. It was about 80 quid or something like that. You can spend a lot more. I don't know how long it's going to last before it catches on fire or something, but just to try out basically.
But you can use it on no end of bipods, can't you? So cassettes, whatever else you can put in there. Yeah.
I've done cassettes and chains so far. Okay. I'm not sure it does any more than you can do with like white spirits and meth and soaking and stuff. But the idea is supposed to get into the rollers and the pins and stuff. Yeah. Better than you can do with a brush or whatever.
So at that point, you can then leave it there. You've ultrasonic cleaned it, and then you can then wax it from there. Or alternatively, I've seen the jar up there. What else can you do?
Yeah. So like this one is, I'm gonna prepare it. So. That's just methylated spirits, and it's just an alcohol basically. So the idea is that kind of gets rid of any last bits of residue, and it will pretty much evaporate off. Okay. I took it out here, wiped it down. I actually put it in the oven after it had ventilated for a bit. Nothing, again, no explosion, so I guess that was okay.
Okay.
But I was thinking with this one, I might blow it off with the compressor, compressed air instead.
All right. Okay, welcome back to day 2. Since we were last here, Matt has done another couple of cycles in the ultrasonic cleaner on the chain. He's then soaked it in methylated spirits, and we're now just removing it from the jam jar. I say we, Matt's doing it. Removing it from the jam jar, What are you doing? Wiping it down, and then where is it going, Matt?
It's going in the oven. It's going in the oven on a pizza base.
According to the NRG instructions, it needs to go in the oven for 20 minutes at 100 and something degrees.
50, I think.
Oh, 50. I don't know. Everybody just cooks stuff on the same temperature nowadays, don't they? It's going in the oven for 20 minutes, basically. So good luck, Matt, approaching the other half about that one. And then we're going to get some wax. So let's go. Okay, so lunch has arrived. Matt, how hot are those chains? Do you want to give them a little touch with your skin just to make sure?
Yeah, they're pretty warm.
So they'll be over about 20 minutes or so. The idea of that is just to evaporate the mess, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it smells pretty good as well, actually.
And in the crock pot, we've got some, here's a little look, some of the NRG wax. Now, have you got any of that in a box somewhere? We can have a quick look at it. Is that all of it?
Yeah, I have some there.
Okay. We'll show you that in a second. Basically, the wax is just melting. Wait until that's melting and warm until we put the chains in on a wire. So this is the chain wax that you get. Matt has used half of this in that pot, and you've already done a handful of chains, haven't you?
Done one chain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, according to Nick at NRG, a box of this is enough to wax chains for 6,000 to 7,000 kilometres. Of course, it depends how many times you wax them, how much wax you're using, how clean your chain is before you put it in the wax, and so on. But half of this box has enabled Matt to fill enough in that crock pot to cover a couple of chains. So, still plenty to go. And as Nick says, it's for chain, not legs.
Yeah, that's at 98 now.
Is that an infrared thermometer?
Yeah. It's a clamp meter really, it just happens to have an infrared thermometer built into it.
Okay, so we're at 98 degrees of the wax, so that means, is that hot enough for the chain to go in?
I think it might be a bit warmer than it should be actually, but it's going to cool down when I put the chain in, so
okay.
It should be alright.
Let's go. Here's the one Matt made earlier.
You might be about to film me splash boiling wax all over myself.
Beautiful.
Okay, give it a little bit of a swizzle. Let's pull down. So I reckon that'll probably do for that.
There we go, okay, 20 minutes. So, 20 minutes in the slow cooker, and then you agitate it to move the wax around a little bit, leave it for another 20 minutes. Okay, so it's been in about 10 minutes up to here. I'm not going to agitate it too soon, but you can see it's just sitting in there. I don't know, the wax making its way around the rollers and stuff. And then Matt is going to agitate it after 20 minutes and then do it for another 20 minutes. But I'm going to go home and Matt's going to bring it to my house in a few days when we're meeting up to talk about something else. So we'll see the final product in a couple of seconds. Okay, so another few days has passed. Hi, Lee.
All right, Dan.
Matt has finished your wax chain. I know he might have started this a couple of weeks ago. He's been slacking. Anyway, here we go is the final product. I'm not going to get it out and get wax on my hands, but if you can see, it's all rainbow coloured as per NLG spec. It's got wax all over it, fit for another 450 to 500 miles.
Exciting.
Which might last you a long time at the minute, your TT bike.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. There's a how-to. I think that's a how-to. Wax a chain. So I'll leave a link down below to the NRG wax. Please do check it out. And I will see you later.